Hello and happy holidays to you, my little cougar artists. And if it's after Christmas and after New Year's, by the time you see this video and the holidays are over, well, then I guess just hello. My name, for those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Mr. G. I'm the art teacher at Rouses Point Elementary. And now I'm taking over all the remote art instruction for the students at Rouses Point Elementary. I used to make a whole bunch of art videos for all the students at Rouses Point when we were all doing remote learning back in the spring and the beginning of the summer back in early 2020 when we were, like I said, we were all remote learning. But this is actually the first video for the art students at Rouses Point that I've made since way back in June. So I'm kind of excited to get started. And it's for all of the art students at Rouses Point, but especially for my remote learners. So if you are interested in doing some artwork together, we'll get started. And our first drawing that we're going to do together is one of the most important things in the whole world. We're going to draw something that I like very much, and hopefully it's something that you like very much. We're going to draw a picture of you. And anytime that you draw a picture of yourself, it's called a self-portrait. So if you got your pencil and your eraser and maybe some colors, we'll get started. And we're going to get started with a circle. Now, my paper is much bigger than the paper that you're probably going to end up using. So on your paper, which is probably probably computer paper, about 9 by 12, start out with drawing a circle nice and light. And if you like it, go ahead and make it darker. And if you want to, you can use something to trace out a circle. I don't think that's cheating any more than it is to use a ruler to draw a straight line. So if you want to get something round, like maybe a CD or a DVD, if you still have any of those in your house, maybe something that's about the size of a margarine lid, to trace your circle right about in the middle of your paper, we're going to get started. Well, I'm going to draw with a black crayon, but you should really use a pencil so that if you make a mistake, you can erase it before you move on. And if I move a little bit too fast, well, feel free to stop the video or rewatch it so you can work at your own pace. Now, the first thing I'm going to draw are the eyes. And one of the biggest mistakes that people make when they're drawing faces is they make the eyes too high. Eyes aren't up here, they're actually halfway down the head. So I'm going to come down here about halfway, and I'm going to draw two eyes, and I'm going to make them nice and big, but they're simple in the way that I draw them. They're actually only half circles, but I'm going to make them nice and big. And how big should they be? Well, you want it to be so the space between the eyes is just about as big as each eye. And the space between the edge of the face and the eye is about the same, maybe a little bit smaller than the size of the eye. But the shape is very simple. It's only a half circle. I know you can do that. And inside, I'm going to draw a full circle. And as easy as that, I've drawn the eyes. And I can color them in a little bit later. Now for the nose, we're also going to keep that simple. We're going to come about halfway down between the eyes and the bottom of the head. And all I'm going to do is make a little curved line. Again, very simple. For the mouth, we're going to keep that simple also. I'm going to start out with a straight line. And everybody's mouth is different. It's going to depend on whether you're smiling or talking or shouting or blowing a kiss, how big your mouth is, what your smile looks like, and everybody's smile or everybody's mouth is a little bit different. But usually it's about to the middle of the eyes. So if you can imagine coming straight down from the middle of the eyes, that's about how big we want to make the mouth. And to give a smile, I'm just going to draw two lines down here so it looks kind of like a triangle pointing down. But see how simple that is? Eyebrows change very much from person to person, and it's going to depend on whether you're a boy or girl. Some people have thin eyebrows, some people have thick eyebrows. Depending on your facial expression, maybe if somebody looks angry or surprised or suspicious, eyebrows are going to change. But I'm going to make these eyebrows just a simple little curve, not too close to the eye, a little bit higher. And usually a little bit longer than the eye. Now we'll go on to the neck. Usually somewhere along the outside of the eye, I'm going to come straight down like this. And then maybe just give a little scoop like that. From the top of this little scoop, I'm going to draw the shoulders, not with a straight line going across like this, but maybe angling down a little bit until I get near the edge of my paper, and then I'm going to come down. Okay? I'm going to angle down a little bit, and then when I get near the edge of the paper, I'm going to come down. Okay? We're moving along now. For the ears, all we have to do are little ovals along the side of the head that are about from the nose to the top of the eye. Maybe a little bit bigger, maybe a little bit smaller, but we'll start with that. And especially if you draw lightly, you can always change it a little bit. Now, if we're going to draw a little bit of hair, one thing that's different on every person, or just about every person, is what the hair looks like. If there are 5 people in the room with you right now, they probably have 5 different hairstyles. So I can't draw every kind of hairstyle, but I'll draw just a line going right across the middle of the forehead, about halfway between the eyebrows and the top of the head. I'm just going to draw a line going across. And then where they meet the circle, I'm going to come down to about the middle of the ear, because I'm going to show a little bit of hair on the side, like this. And if I'm drawing a picture of a boy, well, I might be just about finished right now, except for the color or whatever kind of details you want to put on. Maybe it's a baseball cap, maybe it's a football jersey or a Cougars hoodie, whatever it is that you want to do. And if you want to draw a girl, well, I'll show you some of the details we can do to make it look more like a girl. One thing that we can do is we can put maybe a little bow in the hair. So I'm going to start with a little circle. And then behind that, I'm going to draw a great big letter M. So you can see, if you can imagine a letter M that goes like this, there's a big letter M, or 2 triangles that come off the circle. And then she's got a bow in her hair. I'm going to continue this line over here. That's the rest of the ribbon. And we're going to give her nice long hair. Now, sometimes boys have long hair, sometimes girls have short hair. And when you draw the hair on your self-portrait, you should either look at a photograph of yourself or look in the mirror to draw the hair the way you think your hair looks. I'll make it nice and long. In this picture right here, and all I have to do to finish my drawing is maybe decide what kind of clothes she's wearing. And to complete my picture, I'm going to give her maybe just 3 little lines over here and over here. So it looks like she has nice long eyelashes. And my picture is now ready for color. So why don't we get started with that? Well, now my self-portrait is in full color and it's all finished. But it's not really a self-portrait, is it? It's not a picture of myself, it's just a portrait. In fact, it's a portrait of my favorite artist in the whole world, my daughter, Devin. She's a very good artist. She lives down in Florida. Maybe I can persuade her to do a portrait of me, and if she does, I'll share it with you guys. But before I let you go, I want to say 1 or 2 important things about your self-portrait. And the first thing is that drawing portraits, I know, is very, very difficult. It's one of the hardest things that there is to draw. And your drawing does not have to look at all like mine. When you look at the way that I draw faces, if the way that you draw faces is even better, well, then you know what? That's the way you should do your drawings. But whenever you do a drawing, as long as you have fun and you try your hardest and you learn a little something with every drawing that you do, I guarantee that you're going to be successful. Hopefully you learned 1 or 2 things from the drawings that we did together, or the drawing that we did together today. Maybe the thing that you learned is that the eyes are actually halfway down the head, not way up towards the top. Maybe you learned that it's a good idea to draw lightly. That way, if you have part of your drawing that you're not very happy with, you can change it before you move on. Well, whatever it is that you learned from today's lesson, I hope that you enjoyed today's lesson. I hope that even more so, you enjoy doing your drawing. I can't wait to see what it is that you guys come up with. I can't wait to see your self-portraits. And in the meantime, stay creative, stay safe, stay cougar strong. We'll see you soon.